A little while ago, we talked about how Cole Carrigan came on TikTok and was exposing Lilah Gibney after he had spent a weekend with her that was a literal nightmare for him. Well, now Lilah is speaking out. She went on Jeff's podcast and she wanted to talk about everything that happened. She also admitted to a situation that went down with Tana. And speaking of Tana, we're going to talk about what she had to say on a recent podcast about Brooke. There was a lot that was said and we're going to get into everything. So in terms of Lilah, the last time we talked about this whole surviving Lilah Gibney situation, it started when Cole Carrigan posted an 8-minute story time where he shared everything that allegedly went down during his visit to LA where he stayed with Lilah. From Lilah ditching him at a dinner for paparazzi photos, to accusing him of stealing substances while knowing he was sober, and even allegedly peeing in an Uber, a restaurant booth, and at a concert. The entire video had people shocked and kind of grossed out, and a bunch of other people started chiming in with their own surviving Lilah Gibney stories. And things only got more serious as people then started to accuse Lilah of SA. She claimed that she was going to go offline for a little while following everyone coming out and saying all of these things about her, but shortly after she said that she was going offline, she returned and posted a video that people just found extremely unserious. It seemed like it was supposed to be an apology video, but it sounded like she was trying to say that some of the stuff that she was hearing about herself were lies. But with the Coldplay song in the background, people just could not take her seriously. It literally felt like a brand deal script or something, but it was her trying to quote unquote apologize for her actions that were being brought to light. Since then, she's resumed normal content, though she has said that she has been in recovery since being called out. And well, she sat down with Jeff this week to talk about recovery and also talk about getting called out and the videos that Cole made. She also talked about Tana. She admitted that she has been sober from alcohol for 30 days now and wanted to say sorry to those who made videos about her.
If anything I've ever said or done or like presented myself a certain way that I didn't give a is so not the case. And
do you have anything you want to say to those people that were making videos of you right now? Respond directly to them.
Well, first things first, I'm sorry. Like
No, you don't have to.
No,
do
I
that.
am. I
okay. If it's genuine, then
it doesn't make me happy. Like I know people see like, oh, she doesn't give a. That's so not the case. Whenever I like meet someone, I always want to make sure that I'm presenting myself in a good way. But I think a lot of times I let myself get too carried away with like the thought of making someone laugh or like the thought of like making something a bit and like kind of getting off track of reality.
Now, I will say I don't think that Jeff knew exactly everything that had been said about Lilah. And in talking to her, she did talk about people that made videos about her. And at the end of the videos, they would be like, just kidding. Like, I don't even know Lilah, but some of these stories are crazy. And so I think that Jeff was feeling like some of these videos she was saying weren't even true about her. So he seemed surprised that, you know, she wanted to say sorry to these people. But anyway, later on, when mentioning the guy who made a video about her, which I assume she's talking about Cole, she definitely made it seem like Cole was lying about the things that he was saying about her, and she denied ever stealing anything from Cole because in his video, he had accused Lilah of having stolen shoes from him, and he only found out because he was in her closet and was trying to borrow shoes, and then he saw some of his stuff, and he was like, oh my gosh, that's where my stuff went. She stole it from me, but she was claiming that that was just not true. He was making her look bad, and she claims like she never hurt anyone.
The things, like rightfully so, but there were a lot of things that I saw that I was genuinely appalled by that were not my character or the truth or the story. Like even the guy who made the TikTok about me, like there's so much to that story and I still haven't spoken on it because I don't know what type of brain I'm trying to describe, but I care, but not to the point where I want to keep feeding into somebody who wants me to feed them so bad. He did this whole thing about how when he left LA 5 years ago, he thought he lost some of his designer items in his move because he was his drug. That was a whole nother thing. He's since been in recovery. That's why I chose to honestly have him come stay with me in LA after 5 years of not talking because he's been sober for 14 months off his addiction. And so I was like, you know what? This will be a good influence for me. And it just the second he walked through my door, I felt the dark energy and I knew something that it clashed. Like he started every TikTok by saying, I don't want to air this girl's mental illness or mental stuff out there.
Well,
but she's embarrassing. She thinks she's Kim K. Just made it was scary to see myself in these lights because
can I just put a pause on all this shit right now because it's so stupid, all the stuff you're getting canceled for. You didn't harm anybody really. Like
I genuinely from the bottom of my heart can say that I literally physically have never harmed anybody in my life.
Yeah, you pissed on a lot of stuff.
I've made mistakes. I had health problems. I would get out of the hospital and I'd go to the club. Crazy behavior.
You were like a dog. Like
literally
dogs
a dog.
pee on everything.
Now, on the podcast, she also talked about a time where she didn't exactly want to take accountability and was talking about how she doesn't like doing it and it's hard for her. And she talked about the time where she hit her pen on a plane. And this was one of the reasons why Tana actually pulled away from being friends with Lilah. A lot of people have talked about this online, that Tana really separated herself from Lilah after this because this was a whole big situation. They could have gotten into a lot more trouble. But basically, Lilah tried to tell Tana that crew on the airplane were being transphobic instead of admitting to the fact that she really did hit her pen while on the plane. And she has admitted to the fact that she's done this, but she talked about this situation with Jeff and also just the fact that she doesn't like to take accountability.
I don't want to take accountability, honestly, for some things that I've done, but I've had to realize like, oh, smoke a dab pen on a plane because I was literally so blacked out and careless. And like, I got out of it by talking to the Hawaiian FBI.
I've done that too. I did it with Tana. Tana had
and I was also with her and she was writing her lawyer's number down on my wrist like a tattoo.
Oh, because you were getting locked up?
Oh, yes. They told me the FBI is going to talk to me when I land. I said, what? I don't have any weed. I don't smoke, Jeff. I had 8 dab pens and 30 joints. And honestly, I think probably a bag of K in my carry-on Prada bag with me on the flight. Like, if they stopped me, I don't even know what I was going to say. Like, oh, I didn't know those were in there.
So you didn't get arrested for it?
No, I landed. Respectfully, Tana aborted mission. She left. She got a separate car to the other side of the island. And one of my girlfriends...
How long ago was this?
This was New Year's going into 2024, so like a year and a half ago.
Now, Tana talked about it last year when it happened, saying that she really did believe Lilah when she said that she felt they were being transphobic and that she really didn't hit her pen. Meanwhile, Brooke was not buying it from Lilah.
I get on this plane and I'm sitting next to Lilah Gibney. She gets up and she goes to the bathroom, and she comes back from the bathroom, and suddenly our row is surrounded by every flight attendant on the plane. She is very adamant that she did not smoke and that she does not smoke. They respond back and they let her know that the authorities will be waiting for her and potentially all of us when we get off the plane.
Okay.
Lilah also on the flight convinces me that she did not smoke.
That's my favorite part of the whole story, is the way that she was even texting in the group chat, like, are you me? I never would do that. And I want to respond. Well, actually I did respond. I said, Lilah, I know you did that.
Dude, I don't know if it was like the best me, but like she convinced me. I was like, they're transphobic.
I know Lilah better than to like think that she would ever follow rules.
She hits on them. She tells them that she's a world-renowned supermodel, and they apologize to her and let her off completely free. So maybe she did never smoke, and this is all alleged.
I'm sorry, Lilah. I love you, but it's just hard to believe ever when she says that she didn't do something, because it's like, I know you better than that.
But that was definitely a moment that people believe had Tana wanting to pull back in her friendship from Lilah. Now, in speaking of Tana, she did talk about the canceled podcast recently as she sat down for an episode of Girl Disrupted, where she was asked if she ever let internet comments get to her in terms of her relationship with Brooke. They've obviously talked about how their relationship is a lot better now that they aren't doing the canceled podcast together, but Tana was asked if she ever let the internet kind of come between them, if she read something online that made her think about Brooke in a different way or second-guessed her relationship with Brooke.
It was definitely a fucking emotional roller coaster.
Yeah.
And like there were times where the outside sources and the podcasting and the running the business together and stuff definitely won, and
it's a lot.
It took a toll on us, but I'm like just so proud that
it was
you know
so
what
successful.
I mean?
Yeah.
And that we
that together and you're still friends. Like
against
amazing.
all odds.
Yeah.
I think there was definitely a point in time where you could have told either one of us, like, hey, you guys are gonna end this and love each other so much, and we would have been like, no, the we're not. Like, I think it's like one of those things where it's like, if you're convinced someone it doesn't like you, or they're mad at you, or you're convinced that someone like likes you, loves you, whatever, like they could say 8 nice things and then look at you the wrong way one time, and like it's feeding your confirmation bias, and like the internet can definitely do that to you. You know what I mean? Like those Reddit threads and all of those things can like create this confirmation bias that you can easily fall victim to and stuff. But like, I don't know. It was just so much more layered than that, right?
Yeah.
It's like, I'm sure those people are still writing threads like right now about us. And it's like they're still not done.
And she did call out the fact that Nick Viall tried to come for her when Brooke was on his podcast not too long ago by saying when Nick was talking about the fact that all Tana got Brooke at the ending of their podcast was a Shutterfly photo book, kind of throwing shade at the gift. Even though Brooke said that she didn't get Tana anything and she thought it was sweet.
The Shutterfly gift?
Oh.
Yeah. Some people thought it was like not enough. It was like a parting gift almost.
Really? Wait, I didn't get her a gift at all.
Okay. There you go.
I think that was like a really nice gift. Cute.
Okay.
I didn't know we were doing
Apparently the
gifts.
internet had opinions about.
Really?
But the fact that Nick brought this up, you guys, Tana was talking about it on this podcast and just found it crazy that even when it's over, someone has something to say or someone's trying to stir the pot between her and Brooke.
Brooke went on Nick Viall's podcast.
I watched that.
And I saw this clip though, and he was like, are you angry that all she got you in the end was a Shutterfly photo book? And I was like,
What? Said that? Oh my God, I love Nick, but that's insane. I feel like you guys built each other. Like you guys like both helped each other a lot.
was I supposed to bring her a solid gold brick and like nights and like it was all of our memories. It was photos of every show, and it was to symbolize everything we went through over the years. And like we've also gotten each other a million like gifts, and like it's just not like that. And it's so funny that even like in the end when it's over, someone's gonna like try to, you know what I mean?
So that's what Tana's had to say recently about the canceled podcast coming to an end, and also what Lilah's had to say in terms of her cancellation recently and her response to Cole. I certainly want to know what you guys think about all of this. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. I love you guys so much, and I will talk to you in the next video. Bye, guys.